Preview. You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know what it is. You know who it is. It's The Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. You know who's in the building. He's J Sizzle. I'm G Sizzle.
Yes, sir.
You know what we come to do. We come to talk that talk, walk that walk, tell you the hottest things going on in sports right now. We're going to give you some sports hot nuggets, boy. We're about to bring all the smoke, all the fire. But before we can do that, we have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you subscribed today? Have you liked, shared?
Hit the button, man.
Have you said to yourself, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to share this information of the sizzle with somebody who loves not just sports, but two fine, good-looking brothers. Telling you the truth as only we know it. If you have not liked, subscribed, and shared, make sure that you do so, that you can also find us in any platform at Iron Skillet Sports. You can find the sizzle. You can find us on any podcast that you look for. You can find us exclusively here on YouTube. And you'll see us on Facebook too. We've got some platforms. If you want to join, you can find us. We're in Messenger. We've got our own Facebook chat line. We are everywhere that you need to be. So with that said, Jay, let's talk about Zoe. Let's talk about ZACH Ball. That some reason that didn't come out.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound when you just say ZACH Ball. It's ZACH Ball. Hey man, let's talk about ZACH.
I've never even heard that really. I never even heard that term before. So, you know, it's when you sizzle after dark, you know, it's anything can happen.
Let's talk about ZACH Ball. So, LONZO Ball. Let's talk about the fit with the Bulls and how this works. Because we're going to talk about what's going on right now in the NBA, the basketball playoff championship run. We're going to talk about Phoenix. We're going to talk about the Lakers. We're going to talk about what's going on in Boston right now. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're even going to talk about what's going on in New Orleans. So that's why Zoe is such an important topic, because right now the report is, hey, the New Orleans Hornets didn't vibe that much with their coach. They didn't like his style. They didn't like everything that was going on. So that's why they had a Rudy Tooty Patootie fresh and fruity record at 31-41. So they weren't really feeling him, Jay. I mean, it's okay. Like, I don't feel you. Is that a reason not to play? Because I don't feel you. like, I don't really feel you. Like, no.
Well, I mean, look what James Harden did. He didn't feel like playing where he was at, so he just went out and ate some snow cones and some buckets of chicken, gained about 30 pounds, and got shipped out.
Yeah.
So if you can complain, in this type of sports we're in right now, all you got to do is complain a little bit and pout. You get a chance to go to a team that you want to go to. It's amazing right now.
Yeah, it is amazing right now. So if we're looking at what's going on, Jay, do we say to ourselves that LONZO Ball is the thing that the Chicago Bulls right now, this is what they need? Is he the player? Is he the last piece to this whole shenanigans?
No, he's not the last piece. No, he's not the last piece. He would be a viable piece for them because he's an actual true point guard that plays defense. And that's the biggest problem with the Bulls, is that when you have the diminutive point guards running out there, that if bigger guards can kick them down into the post and they can get posted up. So they're a liability on the other end, and they don't score enough to offset it, and they don't make other people score enough to offset it. LONZO Ball's jump shot is a lot better than what he used to be. He is an avid passer. And we know he'll play defense. Here's the question, though. If LONZO Ball does come to this team, will a certain player, ZACH LAVINE, will he be here? Because there's some information going on right now. There's a possible trade in store here after these playoffs that you might see a Tyler Hero and a Goran Dragic coming to the Chicago Bulls for ZACH LAVINE.
No.
We've seen stuff happen before.
We have seen things happen. Now, I will say this with Zach and Vooch,
I've seen some things.
True, but with Zach and Vooch, you're already bad defensively. I mean, the only thing that's going to save you is that the other three players on the court at the same time with them are all defensive stoppers. Because other than that, we've seen.
Well, hold on, wait.
Yeah. Well,
we got Squire Butler down there, right? Who needs some help. We know that now. Squire Butler needs some help. All right.
Yeah, well, Miami
Squire
needs
Butler
help from anybody because they've got a Victor
Squire
Oladipo
Butler
who's probably going to be retired soon.
Right. Squire Butler and Zach LaVine have history. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this some shows ago. What happened if Zach says, hey, I'm not feeling it. I don't think we're going to have a chance in the East over here. I don't think we're going to be able to beat Giannis. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. And I need to team up with the killer that y'all let go out of here, and that is Jimmy Butler. Maybe he wants out of Chicago. Because if you're going to get out of Chicago and go chase a ring, this is the time for Zach LaVine to go if he's going to go. Don't wait after this next contract, because we know we've seen him get gimped up. This is the time right now. He's at his highest value right now, and the Bulls could get some things back for him if they let him go. If they figure this window for winning a championship is not in the next 2 or 3 years, maybe you move with Zach LaVine and you get younger. We'll see.
If you tell me you're sending me Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, and maybe a first-round pick,
let's ask some questions.
Got assets. I can get behind that. I really could.
Let's ask some questions, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do see Tyler Hero with diminished minutes right now in the playoffs. Right. And we saw last year that Tyler Hero was a star in the making. Mm-hmm. He hadn't gone supernova yet. You know, what's his song? I'm going super. He wasn't going supernova yet. But we did see him say quite emphatically that he was a bucket. So what I'm saying to you is that all of a sudden you start seeing a guy not playing. They start sliding him down to the end of the bench and they're not running him out there. Are they looking at a situation where they're saying, let's not get this guy hurt because this is my trade bait for us to get better? Because why are you diminishing his minutes right now? You need Tyler Hero. You saw how many points they get beat by? 137? Something like that?
Well, the one thing I can say about Tyler Hero this season, and if you had him in fantasy, you know, Tyler Hero was a good rotational player when everybody else was out. His minutes were down. His numbers were down. He was gimped up all year. I mean, and then at the same time, everybody in the league had figured out they had a game plan for Tyler Hero. And Tyler Hero didn't have a counter for that game plan. And I'm not saying as an apologist, I'm just saying at this point, I don't think you give up on this pairing of Zach and Vooch. If they put this together, let's just take this example. Let's say they said, we're going to make a super three here. We're going to somehow get a third player. And if that third player is Lonzo Ball, you've already got to relinquish a couple of things to make that contract happen, which you would mean you would have to let go Fat Young, Saransky. You would have to move around some monies. But, okay, so I'm going to do that. Should that put us on par? If you re-sign Daniel Tice, the linchpin out of this whole thing, though, is Patrick Williams. He's the key. And I think it was an over-evaluation. I think it was an overreach to think I can get a point guard, but he's going to be a life-changing, organizational changing power forward, small forward. He's going to be that forward. He's going to be a revolutionary forward.
Absolutely right. And he wasn't.
Yeah. That's the problem. He was not.
And he's not going to be.
Yeah. I think
he's not going to do it.
That unless he comes out next season and just does the thing, and he's a whole new player that becomes aggressive, that goes downhill.
Not in him. Not him. A poodle's a dog, but you ain't afraid of the bite. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Look, Zach LaVine, if you don't do something, he's going to be gone after this season. He goes into free agency. He don't have to come back. Mm-hmm. You gotta make him happy right now. Patrick Williams, they're hoping that somehow or another he gonna get fangs. But if you put fangs on the teddy bear, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? He ain't that guy. He's just not that guy. He's not a dog. So who around Zach LaVine right now is going to help lead the charge up the hill?
Now, that's a good question when it comes back to the Ball, one of the Ball brothers, is Lonzo enough? Is he enough of a dog that he helps push this team any further down the road?
He's not enough of a scorer to make that much of a difference. See, Lonzo is a point guard, a quintessential point guard from back, old school point guard. He's going to give you 12, 15 a game, maybe even jump out to 25, but you're not going to see that 25 too often. But you're going to see a good distribution. Is that a word, distribution?
It's a dissemination word. It's a distribution.
Yeah. A distribution of the basketball around the people, and he's going to run the floor. He's also, like I said before, going to play defense for you. So that he shores you up in two places right now that you are not don't have the people to fill those holes for you. Right. However, though, where is the rest of the offense coming for? Because the number 4 pick might as well have been the number 444 pick. He might as well have got picked down there with Tom Brady, 199. He might as well been at the G League. Look, this is a guy right now that might be playing pro-am ball in 5 years. He don't have a dog in him. He didn't start. There's a reason why he didn't. I know I harp on this every time. There's a reason why he did not start in Florida State. There's a reason why. I don't care what we don't play. We don't play. If you have a super freshman, you're going to play him. But somehow the Bulls got hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and somehow or another they figured out, oh, look, they must have been talking to Ryan Pace and them at the same time. They almost went out when they were going to pick up Mitchell Trubisky. They must have all went down there to Luke Malnati's pizza and sat around there and had a large pie and said, you know what we're going to do? Oh, for real? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick Patrick Williams, number 4 overall. Who? And they all said, who?
Yeah. And that's all he said was, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Next thing you know, now you have me. Look, here we go. Jimmy Butler leaves the Bulls, right? Mm-hmm. So now you have Zach LaVine. This is his ball club,
right?
His ball club right now. Doesn't everybody want to be the man?
Right.
And all of a sudden you go out there, you get this guy. A s'mores. Yeah, is he going to heat up? Sure. You heat up a s'more, but all the s'more does is melt. You know what I'm saying? This guy's just, I don't look. I think he's probably a nice person. Probably like to sit there and have something to eat. He probably comes out of a fine family. All the above. If I had a sister, he could date her probably. You know what I'm saying? But is he going to take you to win a championship? Is he dog enough? Is he dog enough to talk about, Zach, man, shut up, give me the ball. When I'm down, give me the ball. Is he that guy? Is he gonna walk up to Zach LaVine and tell him he's a bucket?
I'm just wondering
a hero will.
If they're looking at that and they're saying to themselves, because it's not going to be odd if in a few years we see Patrick Williams on another team. And we've seen this with top 10 picks over the last 5 seasons at least. We've seen them change uniforms quickly. I mean, teams will reverse course. Look at Kevin Porter. You look at some young guys, they were like, no. Even with Markelle Fultz, I didn't think they were going to be able to trade Markelle Fultz for anything. But that happened really quick, and it happened really effectively. They're like, you got to go. So, okay.
Well, man. A lot of that has to do, too, with guys are coming in. A lot of these guys had to do with guys coming in, their contracts. Money's got to match. You're still paying that guy, so you're trying to get something for him. So now you're rolling that guy out there for 5 minutes a ball game because you got to get something for him because he's not enough to dump that salary because you still have to deal with the salary cap issue. But when these guys own these rookie deals, they can get moved. Right. And then you're going to look up, hey, here's the one thing about the NBA. The NBA will eat you up, chew you up, and spit you out. If you can't play in the NBA, they're going to find out real quick. And you see a lot of guys who came in with a lot of fanfare, and all of a sudden they're not even in the league. You know, it's almost like remember Addison Russell for the Chicago Cubs? Remember him? Remember he was going to be there for the next 10 years playing shortstop, right. And then he was giving the left right to the girlfriend in the elevator. Yes. Do you know he was over playing baseball in Japan?
Really?
And now they're not even sure if he's even still on the team over there. Look how far the mighty has fallen. He was talking about he was going to be a linchpin for the Chicago Cubs for a long time. It don't take much. It don't take much for these guys to fall off because there's always a fresh batch of guys coming in to take these positions. Top players in all the leagues across the country, all Americans, all this and all that, every year are trying to come in and play in the NBA. That's why there's very few guys that they'll say they're untradeable in the NBA, but they're superstars and dogs. So they don't want to get traded. They'll take all their players with them, a la LeBron James, a la Stephen Curry, getting KD to come over and go play. No, look what KD went to go do. He got Kyrie and everybody up there to go play with him. So you look at these guys going to pull people around because they can. But a guy like Patrick Williams, if you're not worthy to be in that group, to be mentioned in that group, they're just going to push you out. I'll be surprised if Patrick Williams is still in the league playing at this level he's playing right now. He might not even be in the league in 5 years.
You know, that's funny. We've heard a lot of talk about what's going on with Kwame Brown and some of the commentation that's been made about him. But let me say this about Kwame Brown. From what I understand, from what I've read, from interviews, from people who've talked to him, look, you might be a bust. And any 18-year-old is going to be immature and not have a full set and complement of things. But I will say this. If you last 12 years in the NBA, you've vested, you've made it to get an NBA pension, you did something right. And it wasn't just being 16. You did something in that scheme where you were able to continuously play. Now, was he the greatest number one pick of all time? No. But was he an overall bust? No. I can think of Anthony Bennett. I can think of a lot of guys. Even when you talk about Darko, you can think about picks who were much worse than a Kwame Brown. So when you hear about guys saying, well, he's a bust, he's this. Look, dog, if you play 12 years in the league, you're not a bust. You're called a vet. That's what you were called. You're called a veteran. You've been there long enough to see the Galactic Wars. And Pat, we just hope that you get to year 2, year 4, year 12, because there are a lot of 6'8", 6'9" swing forwards coming in.
Yeah, we got one going to be coming out here in the next year anyway. Here's the thing about this is that these guys out here, if you make it to the NBA, NFL, NHL, any of these things, and you're cashing paychecks, you are a bad mother. Shut your mouth. I'm just talking about you. There's no way you're a bust and you're cashing these big paychecks. You are one of the top players to have ever played the game, period. The guy sitting on the bench, 12th down there, will put the foo-fops, as my partner likes to say, on anybody out there who wants to play. You want to play against any one of these guys sitting on the bench in the NBA? I don't think so. They're going to put it to you, and they're going to talk about your mama while they're doing it. So any of these guys who can cash paychecks, because you know how many guys are really great ball players, and they cannot sniff the NBA. So you have to be great. So it's nothing about a guy being a bust. It's just a guy not living up to his potential. And so we got to wonder, is he living up to his potential already? He signed a contract for millions of dollars, and if he plays it right off this rookie contract, he gets one more contract. It just might be enough. It might be enough, put his money aside, and there are some guys out here who live off the interest off their money. If you're getting 6.5% of $1 million.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Well, let's say that.
$5 million, you know what I'm saying? Now
let's go back to just your statement alone. Maybe it is his potential. Maybe that is your max potential. Maybe you did make it to the league, and that was what you were going to be able to do. Make it to the league. Now, nobody said you were going to be the greatest. Just you made it. So for Patrick Williams and anybody who's going to say, y'all hating on Patrick Williams again. No, we're not hating on him. We're just stating facts that, son, shortly, if your career doesn't make a 180, you're going to be on your second team and then your third, fifth, and then out the league.
And I'm going to tell you what, you might see Zach LaVine going to his third team because he talked to the Scores, Cody Westerlin.
Okay.
AM 670. And Zach LaVine said, and I quote, "I definitely want what I deserve. Whatever that is, I'll have it coming to me." So he wants top dollar. You're going to pay me top dollar. If the Bulls try to short change this value, Zach LaVine, he's going to put on his walking shoes. You know what I'm saying? And they could be playing some salsa music, and the next thing you look up, Tyler Hero is your starting two guard.
So let's
Real
talk
possibility,
about that. Real possibility. Let's talk about what's going on in the playoffs right now. You've got the Lakers and Phoenix. Didn't look like it was going to be a great matchup, but turning out to be a valuable matchup early in this series. You've also got now the Nets and Boston. Doesn't look like it's going to be much of a series. It might be a sweep soon. And then you've got you got this Bucks team. And now that you're talking about Miami, let's talk about Bucks, Miami. Bucks went on a record-setting pace of threes a few games ago. It was bad. It was. They gave the Heat everything they thought they were going to get and more. So you're looking at some playoffs. They look interesting. So what's your take on it though? What do you think about this new playoff? The way the play-in came in, everything that we see right
here.
Now. Okay.
Here to stay. Here to stay. It made it interesting. Here to stay. The last 3 weeks of the NBA season, it made it interesting because now you're going to penalize teams for tanking on the back end. And you're going to give teams an opportunity to play themselves into the playoffs. Now, here's the best part of this. If you get on a little hot streak, you play yourself into the 7th seed and you miss that number 1 seed, and who knows what's going to happen after that point in time. But I think I think that play-in game is going to be there from here on out. I like it. It gave excitement for those couple of days. Now, you only have really one really good game, and that was at LeBron hitting the one eye. I got my patch over out my eye, holding my shoulder jump shot, but he hit it. Now here's the thing about it though. You also look at that first game of the playoffs here with the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks, and you saw a Bucks team just skate by the Heat, just get by them. Now they come back to the second game and put the Heat to them like they're supposed to, but that's because you got a Jimmy Butler team who just doesn't have enough. They figured out how to shut down Bam Adebayo. And he's not getting off like he normally does, and they're just not going to let Jimmy Butler get going. So unless Jimmy Butler goes out there and gets a sickle and gets one of those big hammers, in the medieval days, the guy that was running around with the big hammer, that the hammer weighed like 100 pounds, he was just running people, bonking on the head. Unless Jimmy Butler gets that thing out here and starts whacking people upside the head, it's going to be an early exit for the Miami Heat, and you might see Jimmy Butler down there at Lou Malnati's Pizza with a certain Zach LaVine talking about they really don't like Chino's East.
Okay. You know what? I can't even go any further with you because you're ridiculously silly right now. This is why when it comes to Sizzle After Dark, it just gets out of control and it gets just really ridiculous. So, okay, we're going to end it here. But let's ask this question. And I'm going to ask you this, Jay.
Okay.
When it comes to Kobe White, does he have a position on this current team moving forward? And we're going to answer that question the next time we come back when we talk about basketball, because we are the Sizzle. We're going to tell you what we think about Kobe White and where he's going and what's going to happen. So we'll keep that in mind. And then we'll see you on the other side. You know who it is. You know what it is. He's G Sizzle. That's me. He's J Sizzle. That's him. And we are the Sizzle, the talk of the 219, the hottest talk in the 219. We are the hottest talk anywhere on the planet. So, you know what? We will see you, my friend, on the other side.
And maybe we'll see Zach LaVine in Miami.
Goodbye.